Yes, hello everyone. This is JASOULSIS, and today I am so excited. I will be interviewing none other than the great Nikosi Baba. And I'm going to share a bit with everyone how I came across this genius. I was searching on YouTube and I came across this YouTuber. He was interviewing Nikosi, and it was so intriguing to me and very interesting that I screen recorded parts of what he said and I shared it on my page. The universe always aligns us with likewise energy forces. And I was also on YouTube again and I came across Nikosi Baba's page. So I put under, in the comments, if he could please let me have his YouTube, um, Instagram, so I could, instead of screen recording what he shares with us, I could share it on my Instagram. And that's how I get connected with this genius here. Nikosi is here with us today, and I will be interviewing him. And I'm so excited. So, Nikosi, before we start with you, I'm just going to declare to you that this interview will be shared on all my platforms, which is my JA Solstice Instagram page, my JA Solstice YouTube page, and also my JA Solstice podcast. Welcome, Nikosi. Your turn now, Nikosi. Go ahead. Are you there?
Me?
Nikosi?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. So introduce yourself to my listeners, Nikosi.
Yes, heaven eye everyone. I'm full of thanks for the Queen J.A. Sosis for inviting me on her platform. And I hope that everyone is feeling good, Big up to everybody that's tuning in.
So tell me, Nikosi, may I ask what's your original name, the name given at birth?
What is my name given at birth?
Yes.
My name given at birth is Nikosi.
Okay. Interesting. So whereabouts were you born, Nikosi?
Really and truly, I'm born in your heart. I was born inside of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to know like a geographical really like a location, it's a highcation because Ayana is really so we born in a mountain like Blue Mountain.
Okay. Okay. What intrigued me the most about you is your level of consciousness. And may I just ask you, at what stage in your life you realize how conscious you are?
Well, um, early in the journey, many trials and tribulations, just as there is now. Though,
Hello?
am I coming through clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you better now. Go ahead.
Okay, so pretty much early
You broke up early on.
on in the journey, I was being faced with myself and challenged to see if I would like overcome the illusion of what I was seeing. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Now, because the illusion is right in front of us and we can tune into that illusion and be an elusive being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to overcome that in my journey. I don't want to make it appear to anyone that I didn't, start from somewhere. There was a really worldly beginning. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, I hear
Meaning, like, I was in the street stuff and all of these foolishness, um, and I overcame.
give an example to some of those things just for our listeners out there that might not have gotten to the level that you are at now, so they could know that everyone's situation is not unique, so everyone can evolve. That's the way I look at it. So give an example of things that you used to do that before that you don't do anymore.
Okay, so some of the things that I used to do would be like maybe going out to clubs with a bunch of people really late, getting drunk,
Hmm.
not sleeping well,
Hmm.
playing. I mean, in New Jersey they call it playing the block, but like, cause I grew up in foreign, originally from the island, the Most Island, the land of the Most High. Though I grew up in a place called New Jersey.
Mm.
And can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I used to play the block and be with a crowd that was just pretty much the the illusion of myself that I was being faced with to see if I would overcome. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, these were bad people, because it has nothing to do with the people or the neighborhood or the city. It
Mm.
was more so me being a bad person myself. So my recommendation to anyone that's viewing this or that's hearing this, um, realize that anything that appears to be like someone else's fault or someone else's doing is
Hmm.
actually like within your power to overcome. Life
Right.
is coming over. It's about overcoming. We must overcome. We must come over. You said?
Yes. Yes. Definitely. And would you say that your consciousness level starting to shift in a higher vibration? Would you say that the things that you put inside your body change that in any way? For example, what you eat. Give us an example of the foods that you eat that help to keep you on that consciousness level.
Okay, well, as I previously said, I was drinking, I was out late, I wasn't resting well.
Hmm.
So I stopped drinking alcohol.
Hmm.
I started resting better. I started detoxing my body, and I stopped eating meat. I stopped drinking animal milk. I stopped eating animal cheese and those kind of things. And I don't even promote like no veganism thing to nobody, but like pretty much, and up to this day, I just a plant
Hmm.
food liberty. Like I eat a lot of plants, fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, legumes, manami, like those type of things. And I would recommend to whoever's listening that eating these kind of living foods, if you can eat it raw, like as much as possible,
Hmm.
um, it really can like make things clear for you. It can clear your mind a little bit more, because eating heavier foods make things a little bit more cloudy. Can you hear me?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yes, definitely. And as far as nature, what is your relationship with nature?
My relationship with nature is the relationship that I'm nurturing and protecting within myself. Like, meaning like my relationship is with nature is my relationship with my own body.
Yes.
It's my relationship with life. Even you asked me about food, how you eat your food and how you live your life, your lifestyle is your relationship with nature, because human beings are not separate from nature. That's why we have a human nature.
Yes.
Uh, Everything is nature. Nature is the essence of what the world would label as God.
Yes.
So yes, I'm growing and flowing with this relationship with nature at all times.
And good. I like that. And how would you say, explain to our listeners, How do you keep yourself grounded? How do you connect, as you can say, with nature, your relationship with nature? How do you promote that? Give us some examples of things that you do with nature to keep yourself in that space.
Why, sister, let me tell you something. Today, early in the day, because, it's nighttime over here. And
Yeah.
earlier today, I was just grounding. I had my feet, you know, I guess they call it grounding in Babylon, but I'm just wearing my real shoes, which is my feet. And, I have my foot in the grass, walking on just real life and taking off the little sandals, the slippers. I don't know why we love to wear slippers. When me think about the word shoe, that's how me think about my grandmother. My grandmother used to tell me for shoe, come on, go away. Like,
Hmm.
if we want to put something on my foot bottom, we say slipper. So we're not gonna
Sure.
be grounded, but we have something on the foot called slipper. So
Hmm.
to give you a good example though, today I was just, meditating, listening to some hippopotamus.
Mm.
Why? But one day I go and show you this. Yo, it's so amazing, man. Can't even put it into words. So yeah, I was seeing some hippos and just meditation. I'm gonna share a video on in my story on social media.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you before we go any further how you have helped me along my journey, because you are, I feel the connection that we are soul family. You understand?
Mm.
The or
Yeah, man.
vibration match. And that's how you know your soul
Mm.
family. Okay? We I vibe with your philosophy because it's something that I can foresee myself. You understand? I connect with
Yeah.
nature.
Really
I
call it a philosophy, still, really a philosophy is fact. Everything I talk about is just faction because it's the fact put into action. You know what I
right,
mean? So it's not
right,
really philosophy because
right.
philosophy coming like a theory where somebody, you know what I say?
Well, pardon my the way how I worded it, but your vibes, I connect with it because I myself too have a relationship with nature, and I understand frequency. I understand things that raises our frequency and keeps us on that universal flow with life. It's easy. It's an easy flow. You're not trying. You don't have to work hard at it. It's just the natural flow. Do you know what I'm saying? And I connect with that. And no wonder
True.
the universe aligned us together. It's amazing that I'm actually doing this interview with you. And this just shows the when you flow with the universe, it just flows with you, because this was already divinely planned for us to connect and keep on. You help to keep raise my vibration, and who knows if I can help to share with your vibrational flow as well. That's how it goes, right? So
Unquote.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm here for you. Like, to be honest with you, I'm nothing more than a mirror.
Mm, Ashe. I hear you, because what I see in someone else is already in me, right? So for you, Nikosi, what I see in you is already in me, and what you see in me is already in you. And it all goes back to our frequency. Now, may I just
True.
ask you this? How is your family structure? Um, what's your
Be-
belief?
before before I answer that, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, I was gonna say something, but this phone is not that loud. You can hear me clearly?
yes, I can.
All right. I just want to get this thought out. I was saying, Nikosi Baba is nothing more than a mirror.
Mhm.
And thank you for elaborating on that idea. Yes, we're all just different peas in this pot of life, right? So
Mhm.
I must say this though. Can you hear me before I say it? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Nikosi Baba and Sea Gold Empire is actually the clearest image. When I say image, I'm saying like the clearest picture of the Most High, like the representation of life. Um, and
And ex-
those that can see will be shown more.
excuse me, what did you say, Nikosi Baba and Seago? Who? Sorry.
Sea Gold Empire, we represent like the clearest channel. Like, you know how some channels on TV, it's a little bit blurry, it doesn't have as good of a signal.
Right.
Um, this channel has the most powerful link to the
Mhm.
source. I just must put that into whoever's citing this, because I've had a couple people messaging me trying to challenge what I'm speaking. And as I said, I'm not speaking no philosophy.
Right.
It just pretty much is what it is. What you see is what you get. So those that can see will be shown more. Those that can hear will be told more. I love all of you. I'm here for those that are there for themselves.
Right. Right. Yeah. I totally
So
agree.
now to answer your question, you asked me about a family structure.
Yes. Uh, what's your take on, for example, um, monogamous relationships or your
Well,
relationship belief system?
well, monogamy, polygamy, whatever they call these things. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. I keep asking that though because, as you know, where I live at is like far removed from those places, so the connection is like, you get what I mean. So
And I
all right,
thank
to
you,
answer your question.
thank you for thank you for asking, so that we can be on the same, level. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so to answer your question, monogamy or polygamy, um, these are all different family structures that are found in nature. So none is either, it pretty much varies depending on the being.
Okay.
So I say that to say this: there's some human beings that may be more suitable for a monogamous structure as
Right.
far as family. And then there are some human beings that are more suitable for a polygamous structure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, though I will say this, um, human beings, we are mammals. We're a type of mammal according to the English language and according to Babylon science. And it's clear that we do share similarities to other mammals. Why are we mammals? Because the female human being has mammary glands and she breastfeeds her young. So uh, that's what mammals do. So I must say this: as far as mammals are concerned, um, human beings are naturally either polygynous, not regular polygamy in the sense of like a female human having five husbands. That's not found normally in a mammalian family structure. For mammals, that's something that's like a rare occurrence where the female is being promiscuous. Other than that, the normal family structure you will find in human mammals is going to be either a polygynous, meaning like the male has uh, two or more female partners.
Mm-hmm.
And other than the polygynous structure, you do have a regular monogamous structure found within different human cultures over eons. So it's not like I'm promoting for someone to be monogamous or polygamous. It's more so what is going to add up. Though I must say this at the same breath, or in the same breath, we must be fruitful and multiply, especially God's children. It's time to repopulate the earth because the dead is already killing themselves, and the earth life will keep going. It doesn't matter if all the humans in the world die off. Life is gonna still keep going. There's still gonna be some few humans that make this earth be full, because humans are a special entity within the body of the earth.
Hmm.
We are a very important genetic material for the earth. It's kind of like how you have a brain cell, heart cell. These
Right.
cells are very important for your body. The body can
Hmm.
probably live a little bit without them, but the body is it's a necessity. So humans are very necessary for the earth, just as much as the earth is necessary for us. We're here to be stewards, to protect and to nurture and to keep this earth in harmony.
Hmm. Definitely. So I'm going back to something that you said earlier, and I'm asking you this question because I'm thinking the way my viewers or listeners might be thinking. They might think it's based on a sexist format. Why you mentioned that it's not normal for females to be polygamous or in a polygamous relationship. Explain that to us so that people would
Why?
understand why it's not normal for females to be like that.
Okay, so you want me to touch on why it it's a little bit odd
Yeah.
from a nature standpoint for a female human to have five husbands, for example.
Right, right.
Okay, okay. Female humans are born with all of the possible eggs she will have in her life.
Mm.
Let me, maybe I didn't say that. Let me say that a little more simple. A female human,
Mm-hmm.
when she is born, she has all of her eggs, which is going to be her future children, and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't produce any new eggs in her life. In fact, she's actually losing eggs as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
A male human,
Mm-hmm.
he's losing a lot. He's losing a lot of his seeds or his sperms, but he's making so much as well daily. In fact, a male human is making millions,
Mm-hmm.
millions daily, especially if he has a good lifestyle habit.
Right.
So that's one simple thing. And then also, it can be a little bit confusing for the female energy to kind
Mm-hmm.
of partake in all these different electrical entities, because like a female is magnetic. So if you put too much different electrical charges near a magnet, that can actually throw off the magnetic waves.
Okay. Gotcha. So the female energy is way more magnetic than the male energy.
From a broad perspective, everything, really and truly, everything is masculine and feminine. So
Right.
even when you look at yourself, you are everything.
Yes.
If of me, of the illusion of a me,
Mhm.
I'm everything. We're all encompassing. What I'm saying though is that within the illusion of separation, me being this so-called man,
Mhm.
or let's say me being a male, you being a female, uh, the way that we are from an anatomical standpoint is I'm getting a certain level of hormones and you're getting a certain level of hormones. And the hormones alone that you are getting as a female is
Mhm.
very magnetic. You are highly magnetic. Why do you think females can actually contract STDs more than a male?
Mm.
Now,
Okay.
some would argue that, but don't argue with me. Go argue with the TV. Go search on Google. If people, you know, everybody's Google scholars. They're Google professors. Me, I don't. I guess that's why you asked if you know you said that I'm speaking of philosophy, because what I'm saying is not something that really can be put into a website or like
Right.
a search bar. I'm gonna
Oh.
tell you right now, uh, females can attract or can hold on and magnetically draw more demons and more sexually transmitted uh, demons or sexually transmitted destructive entities into her body faster than a male.
Wow.
Um, she's like an open being, and then the male is like he's like the plug that goes into the wall.
Oh, so she's like the socket and he's like the plug.
Exactly. And that's not just from a physical, so-called penis vagina thing.
Yeah,
It's
but that's not
actually
even how I was looking at it. But come to think of it, that's exactly how it is, right?
it's
She's like
actually from
the receive.
spiritual.
Sorry, she's actually
It's from a
receiving the energy from the plug from the and she because she's a socket, right?
All right. If you have a computer, let's think of it. I'm gonna make it so simple. You
Hmm.
have a computer that you're interviewing me on right now, right?
Right.
Well, you can hear me smooth, right?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. You have a computer that you are interviewing me on. I'm using the computer as an example because it exemplifies. It's an example that amplifies this thought that I'm gonna share.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
computer, the computer is synonymous to your body. Your body is a computer, and then your body as a female is going to get a male counterpart that will actually like give you some type of electrical coding that will charge you in essence, meaning like it's gonna charge you and give you something else, like it charges your battery.
Mhm.
So you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just listening. Yeah.
Okay, so now think of your computer. You have a computer. I'm not talking about the socket right now. How
Hmm.
many chargers come with the computer? A computer has one charger when you get it,
Yes.
and all it needs is one charger.
Right.
But that same charger could go charge many computers.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, to be honest with you, at the same time, I'm not a of these little Babylon labels. These are labels. I'm not subscribed to none of these isms. You have to shed all really become everything when you really can cite the wholeness of life. And the rabbit hole goes deeper.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. So basically, the sexual demon, the sexual energy, because I was amazed the first time I realized that we take on the personality of everybody who we sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual energy is exchanged, and a lot of people are not aware of that. That a lot of their behavior is that of the person that they slept with, right? Because it's energy, it's sexual energy. And a lot of us are not conscious how to release that kind of energy in a spiritual way. But we keep on, and I'm speaking in general, people just keep on, you know, sleeping with this person, that person, not knowing that that energy is very sacred. It is very, very sacred. It's your energy, and it's you empowering yourself in knowing who you'd like to exchange that with, and making sure that you're aligned with the person that you're exchanging that your energy with. That's very important for me personally. And as I said, I was very amazed when I learned about that. And looking back, not to criticize anyone or put anyone down, but the more you learn is the more you unlearn, and the more you remember who you are, and that you're this vast energy that is so powerful, and you can use your energy in a very powerful way to manifest more of what you desire in your life. Because and tell me about this if you are aware, Nikosi. I
Mm-hmm.
heard that I've read actually that the sexual energy is the most powerful energy there is to manifest in your life. Is that correct?
Um, it's correct from a standpoint that um, everything is sexual. Everything is sexual. Sex is actually just is life. Life is sex. Life equals sex, and sex equals life.
Right.
Um, So from that standpoint, yes, sexual energy is, I mean, that's all there is. But
Mm-hmm.
when I say that, that's not from an over sexualized
Exactly.
fucking, pardon my Babylon French. It's not worldly standpoint. I'm talking about like, as we're speaking right now, very it's an intimate moment. We're sharing about spirituality. Spirituality is intimate.
Of course it is.
Inform- we're sharing information about how it is to be to overcome challenges in your journey. So like this is an example of like a sacred energetic communication.
Mm-hmm.
So so everything is sex in essence.
Right,
It's like the give and the take, the push and the pull of life.
right, right, right. Got it, got it. And it's not related to the matrix type of thinking where everything is just over sexualized. And no, it's about consciously realizing how connected we are as beings, right? On a more deeper level.
Pure faction.
And that's what I admire about you. And I will continue to learn through you. And and I really appreciate the fact that you know, took time out of your busy schedule to talk to me, on this platform. And is there anything else that you'd like to touch on that my interviewing skills might be a bit off that I haven't asked you about
No,
that you would like to touch
no. I I I feel that your interview skills, I know that your interview skills are top notch. Your questions, it made me take a moment to think before I speak. And you don't have to feel no way. Like I don't have a busy schedule, meaning like nobody's ever that busy. Let me tell you something,
on?
Empress.
Thank
Me
you, brother.
really, me really have to say this because people act like they're so busy.
Mm,
People make time for what they want to make time for,
I
and
share it.
this is the end of time. When I have no more time. So anybody who caught that clock time, dense
Illusion of
that dense.
life.
Yeah, man. So no, me have all of the time of the universe. You see what
Mm.
I say? So yeah, don't feel no way. I'm here for all of I.
And you know what I really admire about you? You remind me so much of my father, rest in paradise, King. He was a Rastafarian. He was the
Your father.
first, yes, before he was killed in Jamaica. I remember him always I tell me say, my daughter, if you eat from the earth, eat fruits
Mm,
and vegetables. Don't eat none of them Babylon food there. And
mm.
that man, he was I can't even put into words because every time I just try to remember, like his words to me, they're like so priceless because I live to see how everything that he used to tell me is coming to pass now, you know? And yeah, him was in the world, but him wasn't of the world. Him used to speak. They say the same way like how you speak, words are power, and him always I say words are power. Well, be careful how you use your words, my daughter. 'Cause
But wait there, wait there. You hear me?
yeah, man.
A long time Rasta man, long time Rasta did I talk these things, but let me tell you something. Your father right here,
Mm,
and I represent the fulfillment of what some of these elders and these ancient spirits was talking and chanting from
yeah,
way
yeah.
forward.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
So
yes,
this is the fulfillment. You know what I mean?
yes,
When
yes,
I say fulfillment, it means like the full filling of the mentality.
yes.
We can't just have the thoughts in our mind. The mind must manifest.
Right, right. Because you touch on a point there because I believe I know for sure energy cannot die. And I know that it's a circle. It just keeps on going around, and you keep on getting other people that align with your foundation, right? I see my father in you. I see my father in other people that speak the things that he was trying to teach me when I was younger. But it's all about
You,
aligning with it, because if you're not flowing in that energy format, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to see it. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to feel it. And
mm, that's
everything
true.
changes for me when I stop eating from animals. You know, that's when my vibrations start to change. And it's not about vegan, it's eating from the earth. I started to do what my father used to do when I was younger, to eat from the earth, getting more connected with nature, walk barefoot.
We are coming from right. Which part are you there?
Huh? Sorry?
We are calling me from. We are calling me from right now.
I'm calling you from Toronto, Canada.
Well, everybody that's tuning in, you're tuned into the channel of the Most High, His Heavenly Majesty. You're calling in straight to the mountaintop Zion. So you
Yeah,
have to have your eye on. You know what I mean? And I must say this. You know, you tell me, say your father was in the world, but he was not of the world.
exactly. And people used to think he's talking crazy, right?
But
In the Matrix
hold
world.
on, wait, hold on. Now is a new present age. And that means, say, no, we can't do what our fathers and grandfathers and all of the elders was doing. Meaning that now is not the time to be in the world. If you are a chosen elect, now is the time to be in the earth. The earth and the world is two different things, you know. The
Mm,
world is the matrix. Can't be in the world but not of the world no more. No. Now is the time to have heaven upon earth. You see what I say? So that means you have to take yourself from Babylon. You have to come out of the matrix and move straight to the earth. When I say the earth, I'm talking nature. When I say the world, I'm talking Babylon or the
right,
matrix.
right. Right. And it starts
It's
in the mind
simple.
first. It starts in the mind first, I feel, because I when you have a vibrational shift, everything changes. It's like you're seeing, it's like, okay, you get more present. For example, a lot when I was more in the matrix, like homework, that kind of matrix lifestyle, I never took time to see the sky. I never noticed the sky. For example, I never noticed the birds. I never noticed the trees. So
But
everything is about being
say the bird, say the
everything.
birds and the trees and the sky, they was noticing you even when you don't notice them.
That's what I'm saying, right? Because it's good to go back to where you were before, because you weren't always like this. And I want to help my listeners to understand that it's not trying to put anybody down, but understanding that when you become present, you notice. For example, you look at that tree and you don't even call it a tree. It's like the first time you're seeing it. It feels like another being. It feels like you, because you feel the oneness with that tree. You go and hug that tree because it's like you're hugging a fellow family member. That's how it feels to when you start to get a vibrational shift. Certain things don't appeal to you anymore. You're like,
Mm.
you're not you're not involved in getting the latest designer, this and that, because those things are not, they don't appeal to you anymore. What appeal to you is bonding, as we say, walk barefoot on the grass. You feel like not even $1 million would make you give you that feeling. And that's where I am at now. And I give thanks for that. So it's not like moving out a certain place. You have to move there in your mind first. You
You
understand?
know, say you're wise,
Thank you.
but if you are a very very wise woman, so I have to ask, when you're gonna forward and come home.
Soon, let me tell you, I believe this, okay? I am in the process of this is just going to be heard now, but I'm in the process of finishing my book. And
Mm,
I believe that this book has been in my womb for all these years. And once my book is finished, I will move from there because I have a story to share about my journey. And I always go back to the fact that nobody remember, because this is the thing. We came here, we remember who we are. We remember our greatness. But after socialization, many of us forget and we get programmed in this matrix lifestyle, right? And we forget about who we are. So I would like to share my transitional journey, how everything started. And it's very important that we go back to where we were before. This is why I asked you earlier in the interview, give us an example of the things that you used to do that you don't do anymore. Because there are many of us that feels lost. We don't even know how we can get to this level where start to raise our frequency. We don't even
mm,
understand how to do that. So when people can identify with your story, they say, oh, say me can really try to elevate myself. Me go start by eating more fruits, for example, and not eat so much junk food, for example. So, you have to reach people where they are so that they can see that their situation is not unique, that they can try to elevate, fit themselves to. You understand?
no, nobody is that. I know everybody is unique in their own way with the illusion of separation, but for real, let me tell you something. Everybody is going through like the same thing.
Exactly.
if you, if you can zoom out to what you really can really like sight and observe life, you'll
Mhm.
realize that you're not that special in a sense that,
No.
wait, let me be careful with what I'm saying. We're all special, but
Mhm.
I'm saying not from an egotistical standpoint, like, oh, it's only my journey that's great or only my journey that's rough. Like, no, everybody's going through different things. So yeah, man, just have compassion and care about people as you care about yourself. And to
Exactly.
give you, before we complete this interview, we don't call it interview, it's an interview because I'm letting you sight and view my inner experiences, my innards.
Yes.
So um, let me give this one last example of like a early point in the journey. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Mhm.
Uh, there was times where I used to have book bags filled with just herb, with marijuana,
Mm.
and it was filled, like I'm talking pounds and stuff, because we were trying to do the money thing and business and capitalism.
Mm.
And what's interesting now is now we're in a process of planting you know acres of this thing, but not for money. We're
Mm.
planting it. Oh, the phone is ringing. That means they're trying to tune me out of the matrix now. Have you seen the matrix? I gotta answer the phone and then I'm gonna get pulled out of the computer. So anybody that's listening, can you hear the phone ringing?
Yes, I heard it.
It's actually coding that I have to get pulled out of the computer now. But let me finish what I'm saying really, really quickly. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Go ahead.
Okay, so now all of the herb we're gonna have, if I have a book bag filled, it's not to make no money. This is not for money. This is for healing. We are going to grow many different herbs, and it's to heal not only ourselves, but whoever is inquiring or whoever asks for this.
And may I
Because
just ask before you go? Um, I heard that it's dangerous to smoke it. It's best to steam it or to put it in a shake. How do you prepare your herbs?
Great question. I do not recommend any of the viewers that's tuning in to necessarily smoke marijuana. Smoke in moderation, as far as like just being around it, to like smoke out certain rooms and things like that. It
Mhm.
can actually be a beneficial ritual, so to speak. Like how people burn incense, etc. Manana.
Right.
But as far as like the smoke going within your body now, it's actually very detrimental to the organs because now it's actually depriving the cells of oxygen.
Yes.
Um, and you know, there's way better. There's many ways to partake in this sacred herb. You can still have your you know how the Rasta Iger and them, they say that it's like a sacrament. It is. It's an herb, and the thing is that there's other ways to do it, and the Rastas know this too. You know, some of the real elders, they are steaming it, they're eating it.
Yes.
Um, so yes, I would recommend to whoever's viewing to, you know, find other safe ways to consume this healing plant. It's a plant. You know,
Yes, it
we
is.
we
Yes,
big up every ital plant. Any plant that's natural, you know, big up to the plant. Free up the herb. And you
yes,
see, say Babylon try to make money off of the herb now. And how much black people
yes.
them up to ganja. It's not even
Ashe.
ganja, but the herb.
Yes, yes. And it's a healing plant, most definitely. I just want to thank you so much. I could talk to you for the entire day because you're filled with so much insight and
Mm.
awareness. And I
You as well. You
thank
as well.
thank you
So
so
I want to
much.
tell you this, and I hope your viewers enjoy. Like I hope they have a joyful viewing of this. And I want to tell you this right now. You know, we can do like a part two whenever you're ready.
Yes, most definitely. I will. Because this link is forever, right? Because we're soul family members, okay?
I all praises to the eyes.
Yes, so keep strong, keep positive, and bless up yourself and your children and your family, and much love, Nikosi. All
I
right?
yes. Guide I have I.
Most blessed.
Yeah, I have to tell the people I have I. This is
I
how
have
me
I.
say I have,
What
yes,
what
I have.
what is that? I have I?
It's like we are one of one. I of I. We
I
have each other. Have
okay. I have I. Blessed love. Talk to you soon, my brother. Take care and thank you again.